All right, traders, I am back again with another video. And in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the trade setups we discussed during our weekly crypto webinar sessions, which are held on Fridays. So every Friday we have our crypto session where we'll go over the crypto markets. So what it's good for is basically, guys, we look at pretty much all the pairs that people want to look at, all the assets everyone wants to look at. We go through those, we look at the setup. So I'm going to show you and explain to you the setups that we looked at, and basically I'm going to also let you see where we were at that time when we took the trade, and then how the trade developed for us. Also, just looking at this video, once you watch this video, if you like the content, guys, please give me a like, and if you don't like the content, well, then I guess you have to give me a thumbs down. And also, I'm going to give you an opportunity again to become a member of my website. So basically, if you become a member, you'll get these crypto sessions that you're getting ready to see here, and you'll get those every week. And once the session is over, if you missed the session, the video's posted. You can watch the video. You could catch these trade setups. These trade setups don't happen immediately, so most of the time they happen the next day or a couple days afterwards. So that gives you an opportunity to get into the trade, because I'm pretty much going to explain to you exactly how to get into the trade, and you'll see here as we go through this. So visit my site, which you can see right up here, www.fxatOneglance.com. Right now, giving you an opportunity to become a lifetime member. Visit my site, become a lifetime member, one-time fee, and you're a lifetime member. You get all the content that I have on my site, and you attend every webinar and every archived webinar that we've had, okay? Have our courses and all that. So you'll be able to learn a lot. You'll be able to, I think, improve your trading. And if you're struggling with your crypto trading, guys, trust me, this will help you and show you how we're going to do that right now. So basically, when we had our session, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles back. So 5 days ago, we're going to go back to that point. So we were like right here. So this is where we were when we were discussing our session. And as we discuss the session, I'm going to let you see what we were talking about, and then we'll come back and look at everything else. But during that session, I discussed where we wanted to take the trade, and then as you could see, the results of the trade set up. Basically, the market did pretty much like we thought it would, and dropped to the downside for us. Okay, so we're going to look at what we were talking about during that session. Let's go look at that right now, and then we'll come back and look at some other pairs. All right, if there's not much, I'm not going to talk about much, but now we do have Bitcoin Cash US dollar. It has a slight opportunity developing. We don't have that opportunity yet, but we have our level. So when we trade, what do we look for? We look for level, signal, and trigger. All right, so I'm going to make this a zone here. So the market's broken this first fractal up here, and then we got a TK crossover that's bearish. Our future just turned dark, and Chico spans below price. You got price inside the cloud, bouncing on the upper cloud level, and also this zone that I just drew here from this fractal zone. So what I want to watch is the 4-hour time frame, because I want to catch this trade. All right, so at this point, I don't have it. Now I could look at this in a couple ways. I don't have the trade yet, but I have my level. If I box this in and we close outside of the box to the downside, that's a good opportunity to take the trade. Watch your Williams percent R, because when you break that negative 20 level along with your price action, that's a good entry for you. All right, so I'm going to go back to the daily time frame. And the price just doesn't seem strong enough to break through this area here, because you got a lot of resistance from Kijinson. You could see that. So had you traded the way that I've been showing you, just trading these bounces off of Kijinson, you would have had an entry there, you would have had an entry here, and you would have been in profit. And then the market's coming back to give you another opportunity. So we need to watch this and then see if we can drop to the downside. What's good is that even if you don't catch the trade up here, when we get a Kumo breakout to the downside, we've just turned bearish. But our best spot is to catch it up here. Watch for that negative 20 bounce also, all right, on the daily time frame. Now, once we hit our level, I always go to the 4-hour time frame. We've hit our level, So when I go to that 4 hour time frame, I'm going to look for a price action entry. If the price action doesn't look clean to me and I'm confused, I'm not going to take the entry. I'm going to go back to the daily and continue to watch to see what it looks like. All right, but I wouldn't be afraid here. I wouldn't rush a trade because I think you have opportunity to get a very good trade and opportunity once this finds resistance at its levels. You've been rejecting this level twice already. The third time, I don't see you breaking through here. The only thing that would signify the change in the direction would be a close above that level. I don't see the market getting through there. You got Kijins and the cloud rejecting that point. So that's what I'm looking at there. All right. So we're looking. All right. So let's look at another asset that we were looking at, another pair we looked at during our webinar session. It's going to be the sentiment dollar. All right, so I'm going to show you where we were when we were talking about this one. We were right here. All right, so basically, guys, we're using the Williams percent R. All right, and we're using Ichimoku. We use our fractals a ton, and we're getting some good trade setups. All right. So basically, again, like I said, these sessions are going to help you to catch these trades because, as you can see, I'm talking about the trade the day before the trade triggers most of the time, and then sometime I'm talking about the trade a couple days prior to the trade setup. So if you attend the session, or you can attend the session, you could still watch the video and still catch some of these trade setups that take a couple days to trigger. So let's go back to the video and see what we were looking at. But before we do that, the trade setup was right here. This was our zone again, because we trade, when I'm trading, I trade level, signal, and trigger. If I don't have those three things, I don't take the trade. So with those three things, we had two of those, well, one of those things, and then the second two developed as time, because I'm going to show you. But when we looked at taking our trade, it was a short here, and we looked at taking the short at that point. Then we could see where it went to. All right, so you had an opportunity in market. You go down a 4 hour time frame. You made profit, then the market pulled back, big old spike. So you already made your profit down here. All right, and then you see this rejection here. You probably want to start looking to get back up into the market. Now, where we are today, again, there's another opportunity today. So I'd like to still look at this as a possibility to get another trade. Let me see here. Hold on one second. Okay, so I want to take you to the 4 hour time frame so we can look at how we can set this trade up, all right? Because basically, we're going to look at everything based off of the daily. Now, I'm going to the 4 hour to get a better entry so I can be tight. But if I just stay on this 4 hour time, on this daily time frame, what I'm going to wait for is I'm going to watch to see if I get, like, when my Williams percent R pulls up to this -20 level up here, and then I get a break back to the downside. Now, sometimes it doesn't really break. It'll do much like something like this right here. All right, so it'll pull up and then spike right back down. On the end of that, I still want to get into the trade because basically this market is to the downside. I'm getting a pullback, which would be my correction, and then drop again to the downside. So you want to look at how you get your targets, okay? So on this trade setup, we're still going to look at the first things that I want to see. So let me lower this here for a second. Hold on one sec again. I wanted to have all my tools available so I could show you exactly what we're looking at here. So you can see we have this zone, but more than the main thing is we're inside the TK zone on the daily time frame. So what we're talking about right now, guys, is a trading opportunity now, but we're going to go back and look at when we took this trade right here. So the trade setup that we're looking at now, we're just going to go to the 4 hour time frame because once I hit my zone, and I should have been prepared already, and this candle is not closed yet, so I'm still good. But once we hit this zone, I like to go to the 4 hour time frame so I could get a better entry. Now, let me go back again, show you one more thing. When I make up my mind on this daily time frame, I do not go to the 4 hour and then look it over and say, oh, the Ichimoku is bullish on the 4 hour. Let me go long. No, when I make up my mind on the daily time frame, that's the way of the trade. I can now hide Ichimoku just so you guys don't start looking at it and then thinking opposite of what we're trying to do here, because really we're trading the market, guys. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame now, and now we could clearly see where we want to be entering this market. All right. So we got the market rejecting this level. Basically, I can take a trade at the bottom of the zone. Bottom of the zone here at that area. All right. Put your trade at the bottom of the zone, which is going to be about 1.0140 in that area. Okay. And then your stop loss, we want to be a little bit above this level. Okay. So then when you trade, if you stay on the 4-hour time frame, you're going to look for areas that you want to get through. You want to make sure the market gets through this level. When you enter and the market gets through this level, you want to get through that minor support. And then as the market moves, you want to get through this level here. All right, this is the bottom. That's going to be on that daily time frame. You want to at least trade to this level, but you want to get through this level because we're going to take a trade and hopefully get more profit than that. So let's go to the daily time frame again and look at where our target, overall target is. All right, so our overall target, guys, this is a strong support and resistance level right here, it looks like. That's a good level. Just for the immediate term anyway. I could draw it and see where let's see what it looks like overall, even farther back. So this is a good level of support and resistance. We're going to at least, if we trade up here, trade to this area. Even going back here, kind of support back here, a little bit of support here, resistance here. So it's a good level. This level is at what? 0.8562. So you want to trade down to that level. Now, if we could break that level, so you're going to watch the price action, see if you're breaking that level. You can break that level, then we're going to go with our fib extension tool, and we're going to do a 1-to-1 ratio trade. So it's going to be a measured move, and my target is going to be from here. Whoops, wrong one. We want the extensions. So we're going to go here, here, and then here. So basically your overall market level is going to be at 0.7924. You're going to probably shoot more likely for the 0.8562, but remember, you got to get through these lower levels. So I think if we get the trade, we'll have a good opportunity to get down to this level again. So showing you where we're getting into that trade on the 4-hour time frame, right there. All right, so you put your entry there, then you can watch it, let the daily go, and see if we can make it to that point. Now, let's go look at what we were talking about previously on our webinar session. So during the session, we talked about all of these pairs, all of these assets, and I'm going to show you what we were talking about because, again, remember I told you we were at this candle at that point. We had just touched our zone. So I just showed you a trade setup for this pair, and then let's go back and look at where we were and what we discussed and what we talked about taking this trade at that point. Sentiment dollar. We're almost ready for a trade opportunity here. This looks just like the other charts, but we're closer to the level that we want to trade. Basically, we got a TK crossover. We don't have our future yet. These all look just alike. And then we could get our entry. I'm going to draw this into a zone. So with that, this is where we would be looking for our trade. We're right at the zone at this point, really. With that crossover that just developed and the market dropping to the downside, we're right at the zone. So since we're right at this zone here, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. When I get right to the zone, I like to look for the opportunity. So for me, really, I could have put a sell entry right here. But I want to be careful because I'm still above that -20. So I don't want to put an entry. It triggers me, then goes higher, then takes you out, then you get out, and then it goes short. So be careful here. Watch for that -20 break before you even think about getting into the market. As long as this stays above -20, you're not going any higher. I mean, you're not going to be going lower. But watch this. What am I looking for, guys? I'm looking for this. Actually, not that. Let's just go with this. So see how you had the market right here was above -80. I mean, -20. And look at you, we're bullish. You didn't know what to do at this point, right? But if you just watch and wait for the level, So the next candle, where does it go? It's broke way below the negative 20 level, and it went straight to the downside here. This should have told you directly, take a short right here, and you will see what's happening. All right. And here the market was kind of zigzaggy, but you want to keep looking for your trade opportunities. But this would have been a perfect opportunity because this is what I look for when the market goes above and then comes back down. All right. And that's what you're going to be looking for. The market's above. You're going to wait for that market to break back down below negative 20 and look for your price action. This gave me everything here because it was above negative 20, gave me pretty much like a bearish engulfing with a good entry to the downside. But now at this point, we're at the zone 4-hour time frame. Let's keep our eye on that. I'd stay on the 4-hour time frame to catch this also to the downside. All right. All right. So let's look at the last one. This is the final one we'll be looking at. So when the market was 5 days ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe we were looking at this candle. All right. So let me go back 5. Back 5, and this is where we were, I believe. I don't believe we had the other candle yet. So we wanted to get an entry below this level. So we'll look at that and see what we were looking at. So I'm getting ready to take you there. Once we look at that, we'll be done. So this trade setup again, I already put a video out about these trade setups here. These are just tinkins and bounce trades, like you had one here. You had a real good one here. You kind of missed this one here, but there's other setups that we catch this with. All right, we could box this in. We could just do plain old price action, or we could bounce off of some of our zones that we use. Okay, so there's ways to catch, even though we're not catching the Tinkinson bounce or the Keatinson bounce, we still can catch trades in the downtrend. Okay, so I want to be able to show you that. So just want to make sure you guys still know that I am still offering that lifetime membership to you. So if you become a member, you get to see these videos live and discuss this with me. You can answer, I can answer your questions. We can do this live, real time. Sometime it takes me however long it takes to go through these assets. All right, so I'll talk to you about whatever you want to know, compare as opposed to our trading and what we're doing for that trade setup for that day or whatever, how to get into the trade or whatever it is. And then also we have other things for you for our courses and our we got our courses and we got our chat room and forum and so forth. All right, so just again, remember, visit my website. And when you visit my website, you'll see that I still have this lifetime membership offer available. And again, you can read down here and see what it is. It's a one-time payment of $250. And when you get that lifetime membership, you can come to every session we have. We have our Forex session, we have our crypto session, and then throughout the week, if needed, depending on what's happening, if there's more opportunities, we just go live and present that stuff to you also. So we just try to keep up with you guys, basically with the live trading, as far as being there when the market gives you an opportunity. So we want to have our sessions as we see needed. So it could be any time, and you'll get an email or you'll get noted in the chat room that we're having a session. So let's go back, look at what we were doing for this trade setup, and then after that, guys, I'm gonna be outie 5,000. Peace. God bless. Again, we got a rejection off of Tinkinson, all right, with a market that's moving to the downside. But if you just trade the way I show you, look at these bounces off of Tinkinson. There's one right there, and now we're getting another one. So what happens now? This candle closes, we want to put our entry in. All right, and that's where we'll be short in this market. We'll put a stop loss slightly above the level. And we'll be looking for a short opportunity at that point. Now the market could still pull back a little higher, which means it would pull back up to this level. So watch, if we do move higher, watch the break right here, the bounce right here, because you're not going to probably get higher than that point, and you'll see this market drop. So keep your eye on that. Any questions? I don't have any questions. I'm moving.